Today's lesson is on areas of circles and sectors. Our objective is to find the areas of circles, sectors, and segments of circles. You should already know the area of a circle formula, which is area equals pi r squared. So if you want to find the area of the entire circle, again, it's area equals pi r squared. You can also find the area of a circle if you're given the diameter. So also, area of the circle can also be pi times d squared over 4 if you're given diameter. So you use this formula if you're given diameter, and this is given the radius. So area of the entire circle, pi r squared, given the radius, area equals pi times d squared over 4 if you're given the diameter. So I want the area of a circle with diameter 42. So if I have diameter is 42 feet, area is going to equal pi times d squared over 4. So I substitute 42 in for d for my diameter. So area equals pi times 42 squared over 4. So you go to your calculator. 42 squared over 4 is 441. So the area is 441 pi. So remember, in my class, if I don't tell you to use in terms of pi or round, you're always going to write your answer in terms of pi. So that's the area of the circle with diameter 42 feet. You can also find a partial area of a circle, which is called a sector of a circle. I like to say the sector of a circle is a slice of pizza. So if you take a slice of pizza, you can find that area, okay, which is called a sector. In order to find the area of the sector, in this case, it's sector bounded by arc RS, which is the shaded region, I need to know the arc measure and the radius, or diameter. So if I want the sector area, so area of a sector is going to equal my arc measure times my radius squared times pi all over 360. So if you want the area of a sector, it's the arc measure times r squared times pi all over 360. The reason why we're dividing by 360 is because the area of a sector is not a whole circle. So again, we're going to apply this area of a sector. Think of it as a slice of pizza. So if you want to find the area of your pizza slice, the arc measure times r squared times pi, all divided by 360. So what's the area of the sector bounded by arcs GH? Okay, so it's a slice of pizza, so it's a sector. So my sector area is going to equal my arc measure times my radius squared times pi all over 360. I want my answer in terms of pi. That means I don't use pi in the calculator. So my arc measure, okay, so the arc measure of GH is the same as the central angle. So it's going to be 72 times 15 squared times pi all over 360. So you go to your calculator. 72 times 15 squared is 16,200. So 16,200 pi over 360 divide by 360, and you get 45 pi. Centimeters squared, since we're dealing with area, it's centimeters squared. We can also find the area of a sector. Okay, I want area of a sector, so I have an arc measure of 45 degrees, arc measure of 45 degrees. I have a radius of 4 inches, so my sector area is going to equal my arc measure, which is 45, times my radius squared, times pi over 360. So 45 times 16, because 4 squared is 16, is 720 pi over 360, which is going to be 2 pi inches squared. And that's the area of a sector of a circle. So area of a sector of a circle is a slice of pizza. You can find the area of your slice of pizza by arc measure times radius squared times pi divided by 360. You also have an area of a segment of a circle. I like to say the segment of a circle area is your pizza crust. So the sector is the entire slice of pizza. But if you want your area of a segment of a circle, think of it as just find the area of your crust. So if you want the area of a segment, you need to first find the area of the sector. So first you got to find the area of a sector, which we just did in the previous two examples. Then you have to find the area of the triangle formed by the two radii and a chord and subtract them, and that's how you get your area of a segment, which is your pizza crust area. So here's your formulas, okay? Area of a sector, we know that it's your arc measure times r squared times pi over 360 minus half r squared sine of the arc measure is going to equal your segment area. So your segment area. And remember, AM is going to equal your arc measure. So segment area, you're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So that would be 2 decimals. Reason why we're rounding is because notice the area of the triangle does not include the pi, okay? The number pi. So I'm not in terms of pi for area of a triangle. So basically for area of a segment, okay, in my class, you're going to use 3.14 for pi. So let's change this up, okay? Times 3.14. So area of a sector, I'm actually going to use 3.14. Why? Because I want to round my answers to the nearest hundredth, which is 2 decimal places. So the only time you're going to use 3.14 in your calculator, okay, is if I ask you to round, or you're trying to find the area of a segment of a circle. Okay, so it's your pizza slice minus the triangle equals your area of the crust. So let's apply it. So I want the segment area to the nearest tenth, okay? No, we're not going to do nearest tenth, we're going to do hundredth. So first thing, you need your area of a sector. So area of sector equals arc measure. Well, the arc measure is the same as my central angle. Since central angle is 60, AB arc measure is also 60. So it's 60 times my radius squared times 3.14. Now you might be saying, well, in the previous examples in the beginning of this lesson, you didn't use 3.14 for area of a sector. That's correct, I didn't. But since I'm finding a segment, I am using 3.14, and I'm also telling you to round to the nearest hundredth. Divide by 360. So let's find that answer. So I have 60 times 18 squared times 3.14 divided by 360. I get 169.56. So this is 169.56. Second step, I need area of a triangle, which is going to be half times my radius squared times sine of my arc measure. My arc measure is 60. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So you have a half times 18 squared times sine of 60. So in this case, you get 140.30. So in the third step, you subtract. So it's area of your sector minus area of triangle equals your segment area. So my area of a sector was 169.56. Area of a triangle is 140.30. I subtract them, so 169.56 minus 140.3, 29.26. So area of a segment is 29.26 inches squared. So this is my area of the shaded region. So this is the area of the shaded region, which we call the segment area. So how do you find the area of a segment? Area of the sector minus the area of the triangle. And always use 3.14 when you're finding area of a segment. Let's try another example. So again, I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, not tenth. So how do I find area of a segment? Okay, don't get confused between sector and segment. Both of them start with S, but they're two different areas. So area of a segment. Okay, first thing, I need area of the sector, which is my arc measure. My arc measure is 90. It's the same as my central angle. So the arc of PR is 90 degrees. Why is it 90? Because my central angle PQR is 90. So it's 90. Radius squared, 3.14, because I'm finding the area of the segment divided by 360. So I have 90 times 4 squared times 3.14 divided by 360, 12.56. So that's my sector area. Then I need to find the area of the triangle. So I need triangle area. Well, triangle area, when it's using the central angle of a circle, it is half r squared sine of 90. So I have a half times 4 squared times the sine of 90, which is 8, because the sine of 90 is 1. So step 3, I subtract. So it's 12.56 minus 8. 12.56 minus 8, 4.56. 4.56 meters squared is the area of the sector. Sorry, area of the segment. Area of the segment. Even I get confused sometimes. And the area of the segment is the shaded region. So let's recap. So if you want area of the whole circle, okay, area of the whole circle, you should know these formulas. Area is pi r squared, or area is pi d squared over 4, okay? You should also know your area of a sector. So area of a sector, let's visualize it for you. So if I have a circle, okay, if I want this shaded part, okay, if I want the shaded pizza slice, okay, area of a sector, okay, Think of it as a slice of pizza. So your area of sector, okay? So sector area equals your arc measure times your radius squared times pi over 360. Other formulas that come into play with this that I did not teach in class, but I'll give it to you now. For those of you that are going to watch, it's going to be helpful. So there could be problems where, I just wanted to find the area. Well, I could also give you the area and ask you to find the radius. I could give you the area and ask you to find the arc measure or central angle. So here are these formulas. Your arc measure, okay, is going to equal 360 times your area all over r squared pi. So if you want your arc measure, again, AM is arc measure, it's 360 times your area divided by r squared pi. Or if you want your radius is going to equal the square root of area times 360 all over your arc measure pi. And remember that arc measure, AM, is arc measure. And remember the arc measure is the same as your central angle. And then you have your area of segment. So this is your crust area. So if you have your pizza slice and you just want the area of the crust, here's how you find area of a segment. So I will do a little visual for you. So you have a circle. And you want the area that's shaded. There's your segment. So this area is going to equal your arc measure times r squared times 3.14 over 360 minus half r squared sine of your arc measure. So area of a segment is equal to arc measure times r squared times 3.14 divided by 360, subtracting the area of the triangle, which is half r squared sine of AM, and AM is your arc measure. So there's the recap of the lesson. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Don't forget to don't forget to do the practice problems attached to the handout in class.